Have you ever noticed how good ideas seem to pull people together? How conversations with a certain spark just feel different? Or how being around a truly thoughtful person subtly changes a whole group? There's something beneath the surface that brings coherence, connection, and momentum, something I call rational gravity. Tonight, let's explore what that is, how it works, and why it might be the single most transformative force in both thought and culture. Take a moment, get comfortable. Maybe this video will plant one of those aha seeds in your night. So, what do I mean by rational gravity? Well, start with a simple analogy. Just as gravity pulls mass together in space, rational gravity is the force that pulls together ideas, people, and systems that exhibit genuine coherence and clarity. It's not about being the loudest voice or having 1,000 followers or filling a room with noise. Rational gravity is about depth, the inward weight of a truly connected, internally consistent insight or way of thinking or even a way of living. It happens naturally, quietly, but its effects are profound. Think about a campfire on a cool night. People drift toward it, not because someone shouted for them to come, but because they feel the warmth, see the light, and sense the atmosphere. The fire doesn't chase anyone down, it simply radiates. Or consider the stars and planets in our universe. A planet with enough mass bends space around it. Other objects are drawn in, orbits stabilize. The more mass, the greater the pull. Rational gravity works just like this, but in the realm of thought, values, and culture. Ever had a colleague or friend who just gets it, who listens, thinks things through, and brings loose threads together with a kind of calm clarity? You find yourself drawn to them, not because of status, but because their way of seeing things has a kind of gravity. This is rational gravity in human relationships. It also explains why some groups quietly flourish while others fall apart. One or two clear principal voices, coherent, not coercive, act like emotional and intellectual gravity wells. People feel safer, more animated, more themselves. This isn't just pop psychology. The same patterns operate in science and philosophy. In physics, gravity is a function of mass and distance. In rational gravity, coherence and complexity replace mass. A single, simple truth, deeply and rigorously understood, pulls in other truths, reorganizes existing ideas, and creates orbits of meaning. It explains why new paradigms don't spread instantly, why most ideas fade, but a few with enough internal harmony and resonance eventually become the center of mass around which other concepts revolve. What matters is not how many people believe something at first, but how conceptually sound that seed actually is. Here's where it gets interesting: super criticality. Big changes aren't about going viral or getting millions on board right away, like nuclear fission or a controlled burn. Real change needs a good enough catalyst, the right arrangement of conditions, and the right attractor. Once the field is aligned, you don't have to force anyone. Those who resonate will find you, and others will eventually notice the new center of gravity. That's why it's worth tending your own conceptual well, staying deeply coherent and open in your thinking, even if it feels quiet or lonely for a while. Let's ground it. Maybe you're a manager, teacher, or just someone building community. You'll notice that even a couple of people who are honest, logical, and generous with their insight will shift the entire group. The atmosphere changes, creativity emerges, problems get solved faster, and tension slowly dissolves. Or in families and friendships, aligning around principles like honesty, patience, or curiosity, not enforced but lived, draws out the best in everyone. Discord and confusion fade naturally, not because of pressure, but because everyone gravitates to what rings true at the deepest level. Rational gravity isn't about controlling outcomes, it's about trust. Trusting that genuine coherence and clarity have a pull all their own, even if you can't predict exactly how or when things will shift. This is why one rational mind can change a workplace, a family, or even an entire field. Numbers matter less than the depth and clarity of your own conceptual mass. Faith in this process is not mystical, it's simply patient confidence in how systems, whether of ideas or of people, naturally self organize. There's another layer: aesthetic and ethical beauty. True rational attraction is never about force, it inspires, invites, uplifts. The more coherent and whole you become in your own life and thought, the more you'll notice others drawn to that center, not in orbit around your ego, but in their own right, pursuing their own orbits of meaning and flourishing. Societies, just like individuals, become more just, more artful, and more free when shaped by these invisible but real gravity wells of principle. So if it feels sometimes that truth moves slowly or the world is out of orbit, know this: rational gravity is always at work, quietly warping the field, clustering the right minds and possibilities together, sometimes in ways we can't predict, sometimes faster than we imagine. Your job isn't to force or chase, it's to deepen your own coherence, to be the well, to become mass enough for those whose orbits are ready to align. Keep tending your fire. Others are out there feeling the pull. Thanks for listening. Until next time, may your gravity quiet the noise, and may you draw in all the sparks you need for the next step. Good night.